prayers for all the family members and loved ones who have been affected by this tragedy of these fires, something we've never ever seen before, something we've never ever experienced in my generation before. Prayers that go on forward. Stay prayerful, keep your sight on God, and know that God is trying to get somebody's attention. And I realize there's many theories. I realize that it's been said that the firemen were going to the fire hydrant and there was no water. I've heard it said that people were trying to water their grass and no water was coming out their water holes. I've had it told to me that things were hitting the electrical wires to help spark the wires so they'll fall down. You know, but I understand they don't control the wind and the waves. Only God can do that type of thing. I do know that God is trying to get the world's attention. And what a way to get the world's attention. Let me say this too, while we are sad, realize and recognize too, in hindsight, there's some very bad people who also lost their property. It wasn't only good people, but there were some people who were child molesters and rapists and abusers, you know, and pedophiles. They lost their homes too. And some of this is a wake-up call. And the reason why I know it's a wake-up call is because there would have been way more casualties, way more deaths. Whole cities are gone. And there's not even 100 people found dead. The number count is too many. If it's number one, I understand that. But what I'm saying is God allowed people to escape with their lives. And I do understand there's some sentimental value things you cannot be replaced. You can't replace some of those things. But what I do know, we can get our lives right. There's some people who go back to church again. They're going to start loving God again. There's going to be some marriages restored. There's going to be some mother and their children speaking again, some siblings speaking again. There are some good things that are going to happen out of this. And I understand that good things are starting to happen already. I know money's coming to rebuild the houses. I understand that there's a lot of giveaways for everything personally needed, like food and diapers and clothing, just different things like that. You as volunteers out there, volunteer if you can, give resources if you can, but just stay on your praying ground because it is a wake-up call and it is very hurtful. It is very hurtful. It's also another theory that mostly black people live in Altadena. And I know that's true since I come from Pasadena and been to Altadena a lot. My foster home house I grew up in, it burned down to the ground as well, and it's in Altadena. There's many families of homes in the city of Altadena and black-owned businesses that have been there from generation to generation that have been burned down to the ground. So there's so many theories going on, but what I can tell you is that God is in the midst of it all because he spared a lot of lives. A lot of lives have been spared. And even though some people say, oh, they probably would not want to live, but do you understand many of us are not fit to die? We're not ready to leave Earth yet. There's some things we still need fixed and worked on. There's some loved ones we still want saved. You know, there's some people having babies that's being born. We want to see the babies. I mean, there's so many things that are going on in this world that people were not fit to leave here, even though you feel like you might want to, just based upon all the things that's going on in this world. Be encouraged and be inspired. Know that God loves you. Keep your eyes above and not beneath. And remember, it wasn't all good people who lost some things. It's some people that God needed to get their attention also. And remember, there's the people in the world who think they do everything in their own strength. They don't need God. Remember, we got those people too who don't need God. So they thought, so they think. So God is getting people's attention. He's restoring the backslider. The backslider is coming back to God. You know, that prodigal child is going to return. You know, so there's some positive things going to happen in this. And loved ones, again, they're going to start loving each other again and being more close as a family. There's a lot of good positive things going to come out of this. And understand that it's already going to be worked out. We thank and praise God for all the people that are going to get to rebuild. We thank God for everyone who is still alive. We thank and praise God for shelter and food and everything that they need, all their needs being met. Stay prayerful, be encouraged, and be inspired. And know that God loves you. He loved me. Keep praying for me as I pray for you. And we're going to try to walk this thing out the best we can with a whole lot of faith, a whole lot of hope, and ask God for a whole lot of peace. You know, if you know God, you know peace. If you do not know God, you do not know peace. So know God so you can have some peace in the midst of this chaos, in the midst of this world. Know God and be blessed.